Well, here we are. Let's take a little quick tour around the BMW i4. As I said, this is my first electric vehicle, and I thought I would let's just do a quick walk around just for the first thing, and then we'll look at some details. It is obviously an EV, a fully electric car. It is a touring model, and if you don't know what that means, it means that windshield, the back window comes up with the trunk. We'll open up that trunk in a little bit. So just a quick walk around, show you what it looks like. I'm going to hit a tree here for a second. There we are. So there is the front. Now, the front, of course, is a little bit of a controversy among BMW owners. It's a pretty dramatic looking kidney grille. First thing to notice is the kidney of the kidney. It's flat. There's no vents. It doesn't need electric vehicles don't need vents. I understand some of the fancier BMW, I think the i8. It's also flat, but there's vents that open it up and close it depending on the need for the air going in. So the interesting thing here is not seeing, yes I am. There is a vent there, like a brake vent that is usually on fancy cars, fancy supercars, but on this entry level. Okay, by the way, this car is an E35 drive, eDrive 35, I think is the way it said. That is the lowest range model, lowest range. This car qualifies for the Canadian subsidies. So those tires, these are standard tires. So everything's standard on this car, in this car except for, well, it's got the first level of options for things, the exciting options in terms of things inside. We'll talk about that at length at some time. A little bit difficult sometimes for BMW to show you what options you're getting. Of course, at the back here, let's take a look, get in real close. No tailpipe. It's got a nice diffuser there for air quality. And again, a brake vent, both here, and I forgot to mention it over here. That is an actual vent, brake vent. That is not just for show. Now, I'm not sure if that's nice. That's for the aerodynamics or not. But anyway, let's just do a quick, let's see if it works for the first time. There's a foot. It doesn't seem to ever work for me. My wife works fine. So this is what a touring model looks like. I got a blanket in here. So there's a very large area for golf clubs and what. I've already tested golf clubs. My golf clubs without the driver fit. Two sets of clubs fit across. What else can I show you in here? It has a bit of a storage compartment underneath here because there's no gas tank. That's where the gas tank would go. So yeah, lots of room. Of course, those seats go down, and then you get super amount of storage. There is a foot. Let me try it one more time. You have to be standing right next to it. There it goes. I just waved my foot underneath. I waved it twice, so it stopped halfway. But you wave your foot, and it opens up. There's a better view of the wheel. I think it's in the sun here. And that's what it means to be a touring model. Just noticing little details like this glass. It's just very thin right here in terms of the, just glass at the front there. Let's take a look inside. So again, this is a pretty standard model. Those seats are not leather. They are whatever their fake leather is called. The first thing you notice is the nice fancy wide screen in front. Very oh, I got the radio on. Let me hit the button here. My favorite. Start that again. So that's a wide piece of glass. One piece of glass with two screens behind it. Down here is the selector, like a gear shift. reverse, neutral, drive, and there's a B mode for the drive, and we'll explain that sometime. That's for regenerative braking. Looks a little nicer here when you close that up. The only other option I got, so this again, this car is a standard model eDrive 35, the smallest range battery to make it qualify for Canadian subsidies. So it's got the first level of options. You're allowed up to $10,000 of options. So BMW's first level of options for this car was $9,000. The only other thing that's on this car besides that first level of options is a wood grain finish right here. I think that's underneath that shiny stuff over here is a wood grain. And then red seats. They don't. That's not an option. The paint is an option. That's all I could afford under the limit. Back seats are fairly roomy, not super roomy. It's not a limousine or anything. But this is a standard i4. So one thing to notice for the BMW, there is a little hump there where the drive shaft would have been. So if you didn't know, BMW made a design decision that their electric cars are not going to be any different. Look at the inside of the thing. The electric cars are not going to be any different design than their regular cars. So this car is exactly the same as the gasoline engine. Matter of fact, the gasoline engine version standard model is only $900 cheaper than this car. I'm going to open up the hood for you to see underneath. 1 and 2. Yeah, the car is exactly the same as the gas version. Part of that is, they say, is for ecological purposes. So there is the front. Nothing there. All you can do, there's these little hoods here. I think that's the something for the, I'm not sure if it's brake or if it's for the air conditioning. And then you got your coolant. I haven't quite figured out what the coolant is for yet. And right there is your windshield washer. I'm going to stop the video for a second. There is a way of taking this big piece of plastic off. I've never had it off, and I'm going to do that right now for the first time. Yeah, so wow, I've taken off that piece of plastic for the first time. Hope it doesn't blow away. Let's just take a look, you and me together for the first time. What's inside here? So I have no idea. Imagine that's the electric motor is right there. This is a rear-wheel drive car. I guess that's not an electric motor because the electric motors would be in the back since it's only rear-wheel drive. They offer four-wheel drive versions of this. I believe the eDrive 40 model has a rear-wheel drive option, and the fancy M version M50 is also rear-wheel drive. So I'm not quite sure what all this stuff is. There's kind of a drive shaft there. I see some boots and a suspension. I was just on a video and somebody has made a plastic insert that fits in here and gives you access to this room as a storage compartment. But BMW in their wisdom didn't bother putting a frunk in this car. All right, so that's a first look at the BMW i4, and we'll be talking about little vlogs in the future about what my feelings are and how the experience has been driving an electric vehicle in oil country in Edmonton, Alberta for the first time. See you soon.